Let's go Download!
Download Festival 2025 might have been one of the best years of Download I've been to, and I've been going most years since like 2008. The weather behaved itself for once, the band selection was amazing, and other than these couple of things, the festival felt the best it ever has. Here's my shameless plug for my Download 2024 review if you want to watch it. If not, you know, like, okay. Same scoring system as before, it's based on personal enjoyment. 6 means good, 5 is average, and 7 above it is a band I would actively recommend. I always use 0.5, so there's a score out of 22. What is new to this one is my award system. I will give awards to bands. So I've gone with best guitar, best bass, best drums, best singer, best pianist, best other instrument, band having the most fun, and best fit. There are 2 bands for this one, so I banned Meshuggah and Opeth, as they're, you know, we're too damn good at most of these categories that it would kind of just be given way too many nominations to both of those bands. Lastly, I will list any bands that clashed that I wanted to see. So if I like a band and I didn't see them, you know why, and if I didn't put them there, it's probably because I'm not really that into them. Alright, starting Friday. So Friday started with one of the bands I was most excited to see. Sim, they were an excellent opening band to the festival. They crossed metal, rock and reggae flair as well. The energy of the band was excellent and they got the crowd fairly engaged for the first band of the weekend. That's always a really hard spot. My only big complaint is that he spent too much time talking, because the final song with guest vocalist from Crossfaith got cut off a minute into it due to overrunning. You know, and you had stuff like the false start of the rumbling, you know, that would have been great to cut out. I don't know if they could have because of, you know, it being a backing track. I don't know if that's possible, but either way, it's a shame how it ended, but the performance itself was great. Next, I went to the second stage to see... These were bands that were definitely way too early on the festival for what the style of music they are and what they were going for, and they did say that they had to take an earlier slot than they were actually offered due to touring commitments. I think they said Switzerland or something. I will say the pianist was excellent in the band, and the general musicianship was of a strong standard, but I did not like the singer very much, not really at all. His voice was processed to the point of being annoying. Vocals just didn't sound good. Like, I think the songs had some really good parts, some excellent parts even, but the whole package was a little shaky. The songs didn't really stick for me, despite me normally liking that style of music. From there, it was time for some gore. So Gore, they're quite a young band. They only formed in like 2023, but I feel it's a band that has a lot of potential for growth if they keep at it. They started with a pretty great sound, and the singer is fantastic. She's really good. There's a lot of talent in the band, and though I feel this song quality is a little mixed at the moment, I think the band are one like breakthrough album away from rising the ranks quickly, and I hope they do. Keep an eye out for these. I predict these could make, you know, like the main stage, like opening maybe within 5 years. They market themselves well. Next band, they were a real treat. I had strong expectations for Northlane, but they surpassed those. The energy was superb that they brought to the stage. Also, this guy's outfit was fantastic, goddamn. They have great songwriting chops and hope they keep rising in popularity. Also, the riffs are pretty damn good. Only thing I did not care for so much was the weird drum and bass interlude, but that's just me. The energy in that tent was incredible. It was a shame I couldn't see all of them. I don't think they're breaking any new ground in hardcore, but they just perform it really well. They also felt really earnest for hardcore, which I like. Also some damn good riffs. Also did a shout out, which was cool for the Divergence and all that. Good band. Unfortunately, it was followed by one of the biggest disappointments of the weekend for me. I'm a good fan of Alter Bridge, and I love Myles Kennedy's first solo album, Year of the Tiger. I had been out of touch with what came out after that, but I was hoping for more blues. Unfortunately, I felt the new music was pretty bad. It sounds like knockoff Alter Bridge and Slash with none of the catchiness, so just super generic rock. It's a shame I didn't end up sticking around because I was just getting bored. Even though there wasn't another band on for another 20 minutes, the music just sounded carbon copy, which is never how I've felt about Myles Kennedy's music before. Of course, you know, he's still an excellent vocalist, but that wasn't enough for me. Also, a quick rant before continuing. I don't know who wrote the theme for Download 2025 this year, but they absolutely ripped off Mick Gordon's The Only Thing They Fear Is You from Doom Eternal. It feels so blatant to me. Have a listen, it's like same tempo, same notes. Next was one of the worst clashes of the weekend. Because of it, I only got to see 20 minutes of I absolutely love Crossfaith. I watched them at the height of their popularity at Download Festival, maybe 2012, 2011. And they were so damn good. Loads of energy and some cracking songs. The energy was still there and the crowd definitely reciprocated that energy. The newest song they opened with was cool. Monolith slaps, of course, and I had to leave You're an Omen for the other band. Little did I know I had zero reason to leave early because of the huge delays for... Oh, I was so excited for these. I've only seen them once at a previous download and I've been gagging to see them again because I absolutely love them. I wanted to see them do their request shows in the UK, but I could never end up going. So despite the long delays, I was staying where I was. They opened with Paragraph 1 or Section 1 from their newest album, which was amazing. Into the Certified Classic Master's Apprentice, the beautiful In My Time of Need, and then one of my faves I didn't hear last time, Ghosts of Perdition. Because of the delays, that's all we got, but every minute was worth it. Even with those sound issues that caused the delay, they performed excellently, and his terrifying yet gorgeous vocals came through perfectly. It made me even more desperate to see them headline, so clearly the itch hasn't been scratched. These are one of my favourite bands, so I'm biased, but they're just so damn good. That was the most I could handle before the migraine that had been developing all day reached a point I had to go back. Sadly, like a bloody moron, I forgot my sumatriptan, so I had to survive off of paracetamol. I didn't get to see any of Within Temptation like I planned, so I made it back in time to see... I I was really looking forward to seeing these, but enjoying any band with a peak migraine is difficult. From what I recall, they played well and were entertaining. They had good stage presence too, though I wish the mix on stage was better as the guitars felt a little bit drowned out. I was not interested in seeing Green Day, which was convenient for me as it gave me a rest before seeing really damn good. I love that they took advantage of the musicians to try and play it all live, as I was worried it would be too reliant on backing tracks. She has a fantastic voice, truly impressive. The drummer was also really good and the atmosphere was set really well. While waiting for my next band, I saw a little bit of a headliner and I heard two songs, and the first was the only Green Day song I like, which is Welcome to Paradise. And then they play the following song, Hitching a Ride. I remember, oh yeah, the songs are wank. So, you know, it's a shame, but as performers, they seemed really good. So if you enjoy their songs, I could absolutely see people enjoying them and could recommend them. But for me, it was an easy decision to go back to the tent to see Apocalyptica. I have seen them live a few times, and as always, they were fantastic performers. But I have one big complaint that lowered the score quite a bit for me. They exclusively played Metallica songs this time, like back when they started. I ended up learning that recently they brought out their second Metallica tribute album over 20 years after the first one, and that seems to be why they did it. Even though I think some of their Metallica covers are better than the original, like Nothing Else Matters and Creeping Death, it felt disappointing to fall back on this gimmick, especially as Inquisition Symphony is my favourite cover they do and it's not Metallica, and they have some fantastic original songs. Saint Anger was a banger to hear as a new cover. The atmosphere in the tent was very much a party one, which really isn't my cup of tea, but even though the performance itself was really good. Apocalyptica are more than a gimmick or a cover band. They genuinely enhance a lot of the songs they touch, and they have good original songs, but becoming all Metallica again isn't helping sell that argument, you know. I was disappointed in the decision but pleased by the concert. With that, Friday was over. While Friday had its highlights, Saturday got even better. So Saturday was off to a rough start for many, including myself, as Trivium were rumoured to be opening second stage to the point that a large crowd had gathered. I stuck around for about 10 or so minutes before going to the band I actually planned to watch. Apparently it was another 10 or so minutes after that they actually decided to tell people that the Trivium rumour wasn't real. It's a shame because it took traffic away from Static Dress. Their energy is really good, and their songs have gotten better since I last saw them. They have like a My Chemical Romance cross metalcore sound, and it makes a surprisingly good combination. I still think their songs can develop more, and I hope that they do. Alright, on to one of the best bands of the weekend. Low are so fantastic, man. So it's a great band. I'm really looking forward to the release of a new album. It's been 5 years since I let them in. The set list was perfect. Ending on Gifted Every Strength was a fantastic choice. So that was like the newest single. It was really good. The Double Time section in particular. The energy was immense, and you know, they're such fantastic musicians. After that was probably the biggest surprise band of the weekend. So, Venus Girls. Though I listened to every band before the festival to know know and find out who I wanted to see. I did not expect to like these as much as I did. First, love the mix of sound. To me, they're kind of like The Cure cross Early Buck Tick cross Hole. Second, the keyboardist was really good, and it was great to see a band that had a pianist that didn't use backing tracks. That was really refreshing for me. Also, the bassist stood out. They had a really good bass tone and played well, and you know, the singer, they were all good. Like, they were all really good musicians. I enjoyed them a lot. The band had a great visual identity too. Altogether, I loved them. Hope to see them again. Sadly, they don't quite capture the sound on studio as they do live. They have really good songs, but I think they're best experienced in a live setting. Though I originally planned to see some Kim Dracula, I ended up watching the full set of Venus Girls instead, and I'm glad I did. So instead of seeing any of Kim Dracula, I went straight to seeing Hatebreed.
Destroy! Are you ready to say it? Destroy! Destroy! Destroy!
I've already seen Hatebreed a few times before, but they're just one of the best hardcore bands that hasn't changed even now. They have the heavy hitters like Looking Down the Barrel of Today and Last Breath. They have the energy of a young band despite going for 30 years now, and they always get the crowd going. After that, I decided I would watch some Currents before going down to see Poppy, but for me, I planned to watch 2 or 3 songs before Poppy, but after only 1.5 songs, just really didn't feel it. You know, the sound wasn't great for a start, it didn't sound good, and those 2 songs that I heard wasn't how they felt on CD. So I lost interest in watching more and headed straight back for Poppy. I only saw Poppy a couple of weeks before Download, like supporting Babe the Metal, so I weren't sure if I was going to enjoy this as much because of seeing them back to back, but I absolutely did enjoy them, especially because they played a very different set list, including my favourite song, The Centre's Falling Out, from the new album. I'm really glad they played that this time. So loved the choice of songs. The energy was superb, and you know, just in general, her vocals have gotten so much better compared to when I saw them live 3 years ago also. You know, they're really becoming a force in metal. The band were fab as always. The only thing I didn't really like was I really did not like her outfit at all. I just found it really tacky with this weird, like, Minogue Santa aesthetic. I didn't like it. But overall, with Poppy, with this new album, they've kind of gone from a good gimmick band to a legit metal band, and I really hope they continue in this direction. Not that I didn't like the stuff before the new album, but I'm liking it even more. So I really wanted to eat at this point because it was like 3:30 or something, but I really didn't want to miss AWOL Nation. This is a band that sound way better live than on CD. I have liked their songs but hate the production, and I was gonna miss them until I decided to find a live video, and they're just a totally different group, so much better. Their energy is superb, and they make for a great like alternate choice for a festival, you know, someone that's not very traditional rock in comparison to the others. Their electronic bass tones are so good. Sadly, since I've been back home, I can't listen to studio versions at all anymore. You know, anything that's not live is just doesn't match up. But after having some lunch, I was a little late making it back for Polaris. Pretty good. I've got to say this band has stage presence and they had a really good sound, but for me, their songs, other than, you know, The Reckoning, don't quite do it for me, which held them back. Thankfully, the next band have made up for that with some excellent songwriting. Can I say, opening with your two most well-known songs at a festival is such a ballsy flex, and I love it. They have some damn good songs and such a great energy about them. Would see them again. After that, I saw the last song of Anal Narkarov, who sounded good, but, you know, it was an unfortunate clash. But my next band was in that same tent anyway, so I waited for Kiddy. The crowd was really intense for Kiddy, like most crowd surfing I saw all weekend. People were really down for them. I was surprised, and you know, they were good. They had good stage presence, they played well, but I feel, you know, some of their songs are quite generic, which, you know, they were a bit of a one-hit wonder new metal band at the time, so I guess it makes sense. But overall, it was good fun, and I'm glad I got to see them once. After getting some tea, I had two bands left. The first being Dayseeker.
You cheated death, but now it's real. Eyes roll back, and the world turns black. Can heaven fall into my Lord?
A lot of the people I were with were quite disappointed by these, as they have a few good songs, but they are fairly boring live. I don't fully agree, but I did feel it a bit too. I think they have some good songs and they have good presence, but sometimes they feel like a bit samey. They have some good melodies though. I just think some songs sound too similar to each other, but to each their own. The same could be said of the next band, even if I personally disagree. I'm sorry, Daddy Filth, I love you, please don't abandon me for my heresy. This clash just felt personally targeted at me. But yeah, Cradle of Filth was a very unfortunate clash. So, I understand Sleep Token are divisive, so I'm going to give my piece briefly. I am a fan of them. I have been since I saw them at Bloodstock, maybe 2021, something like that, and I was blown away by them. They are not a perfect band, of course, but I love what they do. I understand some Uber fans can be annoying, but I feel, especially recently given Download, the people whinging are being even worse about it. You know, if you don't like a headliner, there's usually another good band on at the same time, or you can go back to the tent. I don't like Green Day at all, but I didn't moan about them being booked. You know, same with me skipping on Aerosmith for Suicidal Tendencies back in 2010, which was the best choice, by the way. You know, let's watch the bands we wanna and not watch the bands we don't. Do they deserve to headline Download? You know, I'm indifferent. You know, they clearly sold enough day tickets and had a big enough audience, so I don't see why not. You know, if they lost Download money, then they won't book them again, but they seem to do fine. With that preamble, let's talk about the performance itself. So, they performed great as always. I was really happy to hear them play Vor this time, as when I saw them last year, they didn't play at that time. Sadly, Chokehold and Infinite Bass were missing, but it is what it is. I like that the interludes were shorter than last time. They definitely felt it. They're a band that let the music do the talking. A bit of crowd talking and stuff is good, all well and good, but I find as I get older, I get more and more fed up with bands waffling on and on, especially if you're not like a comedy-focused band. In a similar way to Loathe Singer, I love metal singers that groove out to their music. It's infectious and expressive. The things I didn't like from this time was that horrid intro ambience. It went on for like 10 minutes and was a treble heavy wind effect with occasional chimes and a synth. I hope they change it out for something less bad on the ears. I imagine they didn't think about how it would sound on the massive speakers that Download has. I'm sure it's probably not as irritating on like regular studio speakers, but really want them to change it. I also didn't really like the visual very much. I'm not saying they are generative AI, but they feel empty in the way AI can. I really hope it's not that. Backdrop artists never get credited like anywhere. You can't find that shit anywhere. If it was done by an artist, I apologize to the artist, but to me it just felt like there was nothing going on in it. Sleep Token brought an excellent end to the day, and there was only one more day to go. Despite a 5-minute spell of rain, the rest of the festival was clear weather. I was ready and eager for one more day of awesome music, and so I made it on time to see Orbit Culture, and they're not here. So, as it turned out, there were delays on the main stage, so the band times and clashes got screwed up a bit. But the one nice bit is it did allow me to see Neckbreaker. It's great to see young musicians doing well, seeing what the younger generations are making, and these impressed me. They were real brutal, like your classic fresh death stuff. Not like Bolt Thrower, but more like Dark Angel and Slayer, but more on the death side. Hope they get to go places. You know, it's every young musician's dream to play somewhere like Download. I know it was mine. Hopefully they get to keep going on the up and up. Even after all that, there was still a bit of a wait for Orbit Culture, but when they hit... Yeah, pretty damn good once again. They've got a great style to them. I absolutely love mellow death, so I'm very weak for that genre, and they are very good at it. They kind of remind me of Soil, if you've heard of those. I saw them support Bullet and Trivium, and I've liked them since. I need to check out the new album soon. What a fucking band. This band just keeps going on the up and up. Like, I've been seeing them since Bloodstock 2021. I've seen them like 3 or 4 times since, and they just get better and better every time. They have the songs, the energy, and the musicianship. This is their best yet. Also, I listened to their new album Zenith after, and it is my first 10 out of 10 album since 2022, which is when I heard Loath's second album. Honestly, listen to Zenith, it's so damn good. The new songs they played were superb, the classics were too, and the Scottish band they brought out for the last song was sick, In Place of Your Halo. They also have their stage show on point. I really want to go to their headline tour. I would say, like, I feel confident if this band plays their cards right, these could headline Bloodstock in 10 years. And one day they might climb up toward the top of Download. I think they have that kind of potential like Bring Me for Horizon did. Sadly, I was meant to go to get to see nothing more after these, but they clashed entirely due to the delays, so nothing more, no more. Then after a break, I came back for The Ghost Inside, before realising I was at the wrong stage and watched a couple of minutes of someone called Spiritual Cramp. Wasn't really my cup of tea, so I went over to what was left of The Ghost Inside, and for me, sorry to the band and fans of them, but for me they felt like plain white bread, just really generic and boring. The music just felt kind of bargain bin, and if I didn't miss most of a set anyway, I would have gone somewhere else. But you know, there was better stuff to come, and the next bit was the worst clash of the entire festival by far. You had Ginger on main stage, Malevolence, the secret band on the 3rd stage, and Survive Said the Prophet on the 4th stage. Like, Jesus Christ, that feels targeted. Even the other band that was on, Municipal Waste, not hugely my cup of tea, but I wouldn't have minded seeing them either. They just put them all together. The decision came down to, I have seen Ginger and Malevolence before, more than once. So that helped me narrow it down to Survive Said the Prophet.
So come and fool me anytime. When you tell me I am right. When you tell me I am right.
The other factor was that this is one of the bands, when I saw the early lineup, this was one of the bands that made me like, I really want to go this year. Been a Survive fan for quite a while. Like, I remember hearing Translated and Existence online and loving them. Man, did they deliver. The energy was fantastic, and you could tell this was like a special moment for them. The playing was excellent live, and his vocals positively surprised all around. So glad I got to see these. Hope they come to the UK again sometime soon. The tent was packed and people clearly enjoyed them, so maybe they'll get another download opportunity, you know, on a bigger stage like Avalanche would be good. Thankfully after them there were plenty of time to watch Ginger. Ginger were fantastic as always. The main singer is one of the greatest singers of the 2000s in my opinion. She is a powerhouse. Same with the bassist. The bassist is unbelievable in this band. Drummer too, yeah, just again serious musicianship. Another part that really stands out in this song is the lyrics. Like, the lyrics of Ginger are easily some of the best in metal. I hadn't heard the new album before this, but I've listened to it after, and it is a cracking album. Really, really good shit. I did like the new stuff when I heard it there. I was impressed, but man, I really want to see it again now that I've listened to the album. And for me, I feel like in a similar way to Spiritbox, Ginger are best enjoyed when you know a few songs, and they have some really fierce ones of their catalogue. You know, their stage presence is so fantastic and confident. I'm glad to see them continue to succeed. It also gave me a perfect spot to get to the front of the stage. I was second or third away from the front for Miss Sugar. I got more and more into Miss Sugar every year. I went from a casual fan when I last saw them a few years ago at Download, not a decade ago, but you know, getting close to that. I was a casual fan then, and now I'm just a really big fan in time for me watching them for the second time. I was so damn excited when they played my second favourite song, Combustion, as their second song. It was a dream come true for me. My favourite is Stenger, but I wasn't expecting to hear that. And they are a band that carries so much confidence in their stage presence. Their lighting show is also fantastic, which, you know, sadly is not suited for a main stage daytime show, but still looked great. I have noticed since last time they've slightly slowed the tempo on some songs, but you know, that's perfectly fine. I don't know how they play music this technical when they're all in their like 50s at this point. You know, if they need to slow down the songs a little to still play accurately, they have more than earned it. You know, that's fine. The Clash was a bit of a shame, as I did want to see Alien Ant Farm too, but after hearing the vocalist was not very good, I felt a little better about it. Originally I was planning to watch President straight after, but my body screamed for a break and some food, so I did so. I made it back in time for the next main stage band. Finally got to see this band after all these years. I remember before the first album came out, I wanted to see them but just never got the chance. I hadn't heard the new album at the time, and it's a shame because I think I would have enjoyed them even more if I had. The new album is really damn good. Honestly, this year for metal has been superb. You know, the new songs were played perfectly. Bassist is superb for this band. I think he gets slept on a little bit. They take more advantage of him in the second album compared to the first. I love the confidence the band had, and the vocalist in particular has such a cool badass demeanor enhanced by her fantastic outfit, that dress and the sunglasses and all that. It just all exuded confidence. This band were kind of thrust into the spotlight way too early, and they've done really well dealing with that initial success and the fall off that happens with that. I would say, though the initial hype for this band may have drawn some ire in the long run, I think this band has earned itself a popularity that it has, even with only 2 albums. And I hope people who haven't heard the new stuff really give this band a fair crack, because they're really damn good. After that, planned to watch some of Unprotected after, but I just felt too fatigued and needed a rest before Lorna Shore. I think this band is like cursed or something. Like last time I saw them at Bloodstock, they were plagued with sound issues, especially at the start. This time they had initial sound issues that sorted themselves out, thankfully. They got stopped for an injury in the crowd, which cut off Pain Remains Part 2, which means they had to go straight to Part 3. And, you know, even with all of that, they were still great. You know, Will Ramos is probably the most impressive screamer ever, so his vocals are always a delight. The guitar work is damn good too. There was a bit of shame they didn't play my favourite Welcome Back, O Sleeping Dreamer from the newest album, but the song choice that they had was still really good. I need to see them do their own show someday. It's on the bucket list. The weekend was close to an end at this point, so I managed to push through my low energy for the remaining couple of hours. My next band was one of the dark horses I was looking forward to. So with Novelists, I was really impressed with the song I heard on the official download playlist, so I had high hopes. I would have to say they lived up, particularly live. They had great energy on stage, some great songs, and the guitarists were really surprising and absolutely fantastic. Really impressed with them. The only shame for me after listening to their new album is that only half the songs are really good and the other half is not good at all. It's kind of just really bland. But you know, they had the luxury to play their best stuff in their short set, so that helped them out. After that, I did have time to eat before my next band. I heard Bullet for my Valentine as I was getting food, and man, for me, his voice is really struggling. You know, it wasn't great on the Trivium tour, but he sounded even worse in my opinion. I heard him doing The End, which he can't do it anymore, man. He sounds fine on the new stuff, obviously. This is not coming from a hating perspective. I have loved Bullet. I have seen Bullet around 10 times or more. I've been seeing him since 2008. Grew up with him, but just from my perspective, I feel it's time to pack it in, or at least when it comes to playing the older stuff, you know, even with the support from the bassist, I don't feel he could quite manage. But you know, other people I was with, they disagreed with me, so maybe I'm in the minority on this opinion, but that's how I feel. And with this, there were 2 bands left, and they both blew me away. So first was Fit for an Autopsy. Get it, best fit, because they're fit for an autopsy. Very funny, haha. But yeah, the band. I was sucked in by their energy so much. I was already excited for them, as you know, I've been listening to them for the past 5 years, but they far exceeded my hopes. First off, this genre has a habit sometimes of being way too serious and not having enough fun with itself, and they completely defied that expectation for me, as they were having the time of their life on stage, which is really infectious, as the audience were really into it too. They are great technical musicians as well, and they played really well. They were such a great warm-up for me for the final band of a festival.
Never seen me far from grace. Something takes a part of me. You and I were meant to be.
Korn were one of the bands that got me into metal music, and they never stopped being a part of my life. I first saw Korn at Download 2009, and they have always been great live. But it had been around 7 or 8 years since I last saw them, and who knows how the band have changed since then. But with that incredible blind opener, all that worry was washed away. Davy's vocals were still fantastic, and the whole band played really well. They pretty much stuck to singles this time, including some they rarely ever play, like Twisted Transistor was odd. It was hit after hit after hit. How they play with such authority and power all these years later is astonishing. They made for such a memorable end to a wonderful year of Download. So yeah, overall this was the best Download I've been to in a good while. You know, the quality of bands was incredible, the good weather made it so much more comfortable than normal, and there was such a great variety of bands available. This is going to be a tough one to beat. If I somehow manage to go next year, I don't know how I've topped this. If you fancy it, tell me your top 5 bands this year and who your favourite headliner was, you know, if you want. And if you want to stick around for my videos and stuff, subscribe if you feel like it. Alright, take care, bye bye.